Good morning, boys, or wherever you're watching this. Welcome to a long-awaited return to Grow Bag. I think it's been 3 or 4 weeks since the last episode. Life's been busy. Also, quick plug, episode of Faffing Over Frequency drops this morning, Tuesday the 23rd, Tuesday the 23rd of June. Also explain the hiatus on the intro or during the intro of that. So if you need a podcast this morning or later in your day or the next few days, jump on that. But yeah, joining me for somewhat of a day in the life slash vlog slash full day of eating. Look at this view, man. We're currently on a little trek with Milo. It is 7:20 in the morning. You know, it's a little bit annoying not being able to get straight out for steps in the morning. I have to drive somewhere with Milo because I don't want to walk him on the lead. He's such a pain to walk on the lead, but you know, it meant 10-minute driving each way for probably 30 minutes of walking. I also haven't started an activity on my watch, so I'll keep an eye on the time because I only want to do 15, max 20 minutes each way, because we're going to head in. We're at Clare-Glen, Tandragee, if anyone knows, lovely little spot. And we're going to drive back through Tandragee to get home, stop off for a coffee because it opens at 8 o'clock, and then get back in for meal one. Today we have haircut coming up, training session. We're training push and calves with a little bit of post-workout cardio. We will be seeing Butcher at the gym because I'm training off 2 meals, so I'm following along with his routine. And this evening, a very special guest on Inside the Process. I am the very special guest. Got the call up yesterday by Eloisa, so be interesting to see what they want to discuss with me on the podcast. But what has been achieved, what has been ticked off this morning, basically woke up hydrated, weighed myself actually 190 pounds on the dot. That's after a tub of terrifically churros, which I might whack up a photo here. Finally done it, finally bit the bullet to add it to the list, and it was good. Like, but hay fever's definitely blunting my taste and smell slightly, which is really annoying. As if you think if your nose is blocked you're not going to be tasting it. So I don't think I got 100% of the terrific flavours, but it was good. I've got it in third because the odd bit of cinnamon that I did taste hit the spot. But yeah, 190 pounds. So body weight is trending down, so I have decided to go ahead and add 20 grams of carbs just to the daily diet. That will most likely come through 100 grams of banana on a training day in my final meal. Rest day, haven't thought too much. You know, sourdough, you know, an increase to your sourdough meals is like infinite. I could push sourdough to about 300 grams in that meal, so that could be an option. But then you also get the trace fats and proteins with that, so maybe I'll also just go with the 100 grams of banana for 20 carb in the final meal on a rest day. But yeah, more scenic views. This is beautiful. And there's the main man. If you don't know the living situation currently, family is on holiday, so it's just me and Milo fending for ourselves at home. Kitchen update. Kitchen man is coming back today to get a bit more progress done in the kitchen. Hopefully, with me leaving for Italy, Milan on Thursday with Josh Campbell and Lewis Agnew to watch Lewis's final show of the season, OCB Italy. Hopefully it's done for the time I come back, and then we'll start getting some really good vlog, full day of eating content, because the kitchen's going to be super aesthetic. But we'll wrap up this clip here. I was going to dive into what I've done so far, but literally just hydrated, weighed my salt, 7 grams of pink, 3 grams of low salt. We'll add an extra gram of pink salt to my pre-workout meal. Then what else did I do? Weighed myself, hydrated with the morning drink, We had 6 grams Catalyst engineered muscle, tropical passion fruit flavour. Pretty good, it's grown on me. I didn't like it at first, but OG cherry coconut's still the goat. 6 grams there of a hydration formula, 10 grams of glutamine. If you want the gut health benefits of glutamine, take it fasted, not intra or post-workout. And 10 grams of creatine, and from my knowledge, creatine's the same any time of the day. So we'll leave that one here. I'm going to continue this walk, and I will catch you guys when I'm going for a coffee. Okay, I'm not sticking my mic on for this clip because I can't be bothered, but Milo's eating grass. But look at this view, man. Not even view, look at the scenery though. This is gorgeous. Vamos. You know, I said I was gonna see you when I got my coffee, so I'll keep my promise, but there's not really much to tell you. Like, I got a long black. Yeah, class. No fancy coffee orders here. I do always have the urge to get like a wee coconut milk flat white. That's hard to beat, or a latte even, but I know I'm chancing it with digestive issues. Like, when I used to nail the milky coffee's last push-up, like, I knew I was going to feel that in between meals. So for this push-up, aside from Japan, it has mainly just been, and Glasgow there at the weekend, or a couple of weekends ago, it has mainly just been black coffee. Boys, feast your eyes. You're about to see the real BTS of having your kitchen redone. Living out of the living room, basically cooking out of the living room, meal prepping out of the living room. This is the harsh reality. But yeah, we have got meal 1 dished up. We have yogurt, blueberries. We have the gas stove out to get a little bit of eggs and salmon, just using up the last of sourdough since I'm off work today. I do a little bit of macro matching for the day, so instead of my protein fat meal 1, I'll have a little bit of sourdough and eggs, because when I'm working I won't get to have that on a training day. So yeah, this is meal 1, and I have about a mouthful of coffee left. Fantastic stuff. We'll be putting macros for each meal and ingredients on each meal. I'll put a screenshot of my Google Sheets up on the YouTube for you guys, so you can get an insight to what is in each meal. How do I set up each meal? You know, notice fruit and veg with every single meal. Fat sources, good stuff. But yeah, last mouthful of coffee. Actually, I'll get 2 mouthfuls out of that. That is delicious, but I'm going to dig into this with some YouTube. So we have got a nice fresh low taper fade, and we are at the pre-workout meal now. Came home, got a few things done, packed for Italy on Thursday, bit of meal prep done for back to work tomorrow. Looking like a bit of a mess here. Rice cooker still on for our rice, keeping our rice warm for meal 4. Post workout, but here we have the pre-workout meal, the goated pre-workout meal of chicken, rice, banana, dates, honey, almond butter, beetroot, kimchi. Absolutely mesmerizing stuff. I'll get an angle beside my face. Look at that. Damn. Now there's nowhere great for a thumbnail here, lads, but meal totals, macros, ingredients. Pop them up here, pause if you want, and yeah, I'm gonna get this in. I think Butcher's already eaten. He's well ahead of me, and I have cardio post push, so unfortunately I don't think I'll be eating post workout with him. And I've ran out of data on my phone. I didn't think it was possible, but I've used 80 gigabytes this month. So no YouTube post workout. I'll just be listening to music, being present with my post workout meal, and yeah, that sucks. Yes guys, we're in the car. Pre-workout meal has been eaten. We've went for a walk, took Milo for a little walk around the estate. Monster VR 46 Valentino Rossi. Everyone's been hyping that up to me again. Now, I didn't think much of it when I first tried it, so it's on the cards again today. Pump product, we have the new Pit Stop Vortex cherry flavour. Had it on legs on Saturday, and like quite a small serving, and got quite a good pump, had some leg vascularity, which is nice. So we've got like 21 grams today, which is just over like maybe 1.25 servings, yeah. But 500 milligrams L-carnitine pinned, right side delt, and it's a fucking wonder day. No sweater or hoodie on for me. It is just t-shirt, shorts and Birks. So it's going to be a good pump on the cards. Maybe actually get some posing footage. I could record some posing, but talk to you guys next time I see you. Yes, boys, hopefully you can hear me alright. Oh no, this was not a good idea. I've stuck the Osmo. Oh fuck, this was really not a good idea. I'm gonna have fun getting that off, if you can see. But we are post-workout. Yeah, I stuck the Osmo mic magnet onto the roof of the car. Not my best decision, and the Osmo mic is actually sitting on the car. But post-workout push day is finished. Fucking scorching hot, which it doesn't look like it in the sky. It just looks like a clear day, but it's so warm. And at the end of push, I do in fact have 20 minutes of post-workout cardio. So 20 minutes ticked off on the stairs. Actually 21 minutes, because I always use the first minute and I don't count the first minute while I'm getting my heart rate up to 120. I actually got that heart rate up to 120 inside 30 seconds, but you know, just had to do the extra 30 seconds because I want it more. But post-workout meal we have in front of us, probably not the most optimal time to eat it, scenario to eat it when I'm this warm. Heart rate's probably still through the roof. Post-workout still pretty sympathetically driven, but I'll digest it well. I know I digest it well. Post-workout always sits well. So we have 100 cream of rice. Oh well, I'm gonna stick the totals up anyway. So we have cream of rice, banana, cinnamon, salt and macadamia nut oil. Now on the side of that we have 40 grams of whey, which I've made into a paste, but I added too much water too soon and it's went all bubbly and runny, so I've sort of fucked it there. But post-workout supplementation, 1 cap of Glycotank, which also goes in pre-workout and pre-bed, so 3 caps of Glycotank on the training day, which is a GDA, basically just helping me shuttle carbs into muscles and not leaving them sitting there around my bloodstream, raising my blood glucose and making me a bit more insulin resistant. And then we have 2 caps of turbo mag, to sort of winding me down and get me into that sort of more recovery focused state, the parasympathetic state, rest and digest, feed and breed state. But yeah, I'll give you guys a view of the meal on its own and then stick up the totals here. I'm really not going to have a fun time getting that off, but meal, hopefully this whey paste recovers, man. That is not ideal. I'm going to run you through expenditure targets after I eat this, because I think it might be something decent to touch upon, as I do it a little differently than a lot of people in the off season. So I'm going to get this magnet off the roof of my car and then get the meal in. Chat to you guys soon. Ladies and gents, we are home, showered, feeling a little bit more refreshed. We had another serving of engineered Catalyst tropical passion fruit flavour. Yeah, definitely growing on me. Post-workout meal didn't quite hit the same, to be honest. The tap water out of the gym was lukewarm for some reason, so I had lukewarm runny whey paste. My core wasn't that cold because I didn't have frozen berries in it. Just trying to pull down food volume a little bit, so it was like lemon meringue core, semi-warm with banana, because the day is so warm. It was like 28 degrees in the car, so it was like a bit of a mid post workout meal. But you know, I wanted to run through my current expenditure targets. So currently I have 30 minutes of cardio on rest days, in the last minute of which I'm trying to get my heart rate up to 170 BPM plus, touching on that sort of higher threshold of heart rate rather than just staying in the low intensity steady state. So that's twice per week on rest days. Post training, I only do cardio once, 20 minutes post push. I'm not doing that additional heart rate bump at the end of this, because I have legs the following day after push, which I do think would have a negative knock-on effect. So that's 3 direct cardio sessions. And then steps wise, I'm at 12k daily, which has only been pulled down recently from 13k, just to give me a bit more wind down time in the evenings as things get busier with work, coaching, meal prep. Obviously my gym is a long commute for me, so if I'm driving home having to prep 4 meals and then also tick off 13k steps, it's not too ideal for winding down and getting to bed early. So 12k steps, which is still above a lot of plans you'll see. It's normally just this magic 10k step number, which is just an arbitrary number. 10k steps, completely pulled out of someone's ass. So I think being on the sort of higher level of expenditure and sort of touching on this higher energy flux sort of state where you're expending more calories, you're spending more time moving through cardio, posing, steps, but also getting to eat more as a result, because you're obviously burning more calories. You're going to need more calories to create that surplus and keep you out of a deficit when your expenditure is higher. But the result of this higher energy flux is just a more insulin sensitive and more responsive physique, in my opinion. If you're doing 6,000, 7,000 steps a day, not doing any direct cardio work, your food is not really going to get over 300 grams of carbs a day. And I think you're leaving a lot on the table when you can't push food super duper high, and just you can't be as responsive to food either, because not creating that demand through movement, that also has a negative knock-on effect to appetite. If you're not expending calories through cardio or steps, with this movement you're not going to keep that appetite or get that uptick of appetite that comes along with the extra expenditure, whereas someone doing direct cardio, doing more steps, is going to get that increased appetite. And then you can make that argument again where if someone's got a better appetite, their meals are sitting better, they're digesting better, they're going to be utilising it better, they're going to be less insulin resistant. I use insulin resistant. No one's really at the risk of insulin resistance if they're bodybuilding and eating a clean diet, but they're at the risk of running a higher blood glucose and being less responsive to food. So being less responsive to food. So I do think, time allowed, try to keep your expenditure above a bare minimum. Hit over 10k steps, do direct cardio even in the gaining phase, especially peak body weight. You don't want to be unfit and letting that ruin your training sessions, and keep posing in even if you're not dieting. Yes, you don't look as good, but I'm sort of running, it's between 6 and 7 rounds of posing per week. I have no rest day posing currently, but trying to pose after every session, 1 round post workout, and then 1 round fasted on a Saturday morning to take my check-in shots. So that's another form of expenditure, my posing rounds, because each one of those rounds takes about 5 minutes, holding poses for 10 seconds. That takes it out of you, especially when your heart rate's already elevated post workout. So guys, moral of the story, don't be lazy. Keep your expenditure not high, but higher than a lot of what you see in today's sort of bodybuilding approaches. Yes guys, meal 4 is upon us. We are 35 minutes out from the Inside the Process podcast, but getting this one on the YouTube documented. We have a colour fiesta for meal 4. So this is the prawns, rice, veg, pineapple, recent addition of avocado and macadamia nut oil meal. This is fantastic. Now you'll know I'm a big spender on my prawns now. That has been a big difference between this push up and the last. Quality of food, not just single ingredient foods, but a smaller pool of foods. Like last push up, I've really broadened my scope to different fat sources, different protein sources, different carb sources, and even going as far to be spenny with the type of prawns that I'm choosing. Look at them, they're not any cheap prawns. They're $5.60 a portion, $5.60 a meal out of Marks and Spencer's. We do not cheapen things. We've also got part of our 100 grams of veg. We have got beetroot sauerkraut, if you knew that was a thing. That one's not as good as the turmeric sauerkraut. That shit tastes like super noodles. For some reason it is goated. So if you want a little hack to help your gut health, improve your gut health pretty easily, add in turmeric, not turmeric, well, the turmeric sauerkraut's an option, but sauerkraut and kimchi to your meals, part of your veggies. Two, fermented foods. It's going to be good probiotics, good for digestion, good for gut health. Utilize your food better, be a better bodybuilder. So that is meal 4. Of course, macros and ingredients and amounts would have been on the screen somewhere. And yeah, gonna dig in. Boys, podcast wrapped up. As you can see, the setup is all cleared away. MacBook closed for the night. It's switch off time now because we have a 5 a.m. start. It is currently 7:57. The Inside the Process podcast wrapped up. Very good episode. Looking forward to I'll probably listen back to that one. Will I? I most likely will. It's hard listening to your own voice, but I like going over what we cover. Sometimes I listen to the Lifestyle Loops ones over again. But yeah, that'll be a valuable one for you all to listen to. Coming out tomorrow morning. So that will be Wednesday morning. Not sure what time they're going to schedule it for, but final meal going in. Now I would say, it's the final meal because the blue light blockers are on, but the blue light blockers aren't on. I'm not locked in. Need to go grab them before I sit down and watch some YouTube with the final meal. So what we've got is the cream of rice meal, the sweet treat in the evening that everyone looks forward to. So at the minute, I'm actually doing my whey paste separate on my cream of rice. So we have 45 grams of Battenberg whey paste, and then cream of rice, chocolate sponge cake straw, mixed in with some salt, macadamia nut oil, blueberries, almond butter and banana. Now that is just a gorgeous concoction. Of course, totals, macros for the day, I guess, on a push day nutrition, full day of eating title. I can already picture it now. Wonder what the thumbnail will be, but push day nutrition. So we have totals for this final meal, and for the day I believe we're sitting at 235 protein, 560 carb and 55 grams of fat. And I've had a resurgence in my appetite the last 2 weeks. I'd say I really hit a low point of appetite, but then I pulled out my fiber, changed up my fat sources, lowered my fat intake, and really sort of resurged. It also dropped my water volume for my sushi rice and my cream of rice, which really helped. So guys, gonna sign off here. Hopefully get this video out nice and soon. Quick turnaround, because Tuesday evening in the airport, Thursday morning. Hopefully get it up on Thursday actually, when I'm sitting around the airport. That would be a good time to edit it. But signing this one out, gonna enjoy this final meal. Chocolate sponge cake, wicked flavour with the macadamia nut oil. So guys, like, comment, share, subscribe. Story tags, always appreciated. You actually don't know. Same with the podcasts. When you tag, it's literally 1 out of your 20 stories a day. If you do post content, it means a lot, sharing the podcasts and the YouTube videos. So gonna leave this one here for the 3rd time, and I will chat to you guys in the next entry of Grow Bag.